after 4 more years. He won't be around after 2017. You'll get to vote someone else in. And if you don't like the Democrats, vote them out, vote the Republicans in, or vote an independent in, or vote something else in. But don't just sit there and say, well, it's illegal, it's doom and gloom, blah, 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 blah. Because it's not. Folks, I think we're getting ready to go to a break. When we come back, we will we'll discuss a Navy SEAL. One of the Navy SEALs that actually killed Osama bin Laden. So we'll see you back here in a few, live on the Big DC Show.
You are listening to the Rant Internet Talk Radio Show with your host, the Big DC, here on Spreaker.com.
OurB.com, free unlimited hosting. With a network uptime of 99.9%, your website is guaranteed to always be online. Features for this are unlimited, and they include web space, bandwidth, hosted domains, subdomains, email boxes, email space, FTP accounts, MySQL data, free SSH, a multilingual hosting panel, an auto site builder, an auto script installer, free support, and so much more. Take part in the unlimited experience right now at OurB.com. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter at @AsteerCircle with Google+, and subscribe to us on YouTube.
The dream is fading, now I'm staring at the door. I know it's over cause my feet have hit the cold floor. Check my reflection, I ain't feeling what I see. It's no mystery.
Okay, welcome everyone. Welcome back to The Rant. I am your host, the Big DC. As I said, I was going to open up the phone lines and Skype lines, and I am. Give me just 1 second. The phone lines and the Skype lines are open right now, so if you want to call in, you can do that. The phone number, well, I'll give you the Skype. The Skype is Big DC 1231. Once again, for Skype, it's Big DC 1231. And if you want to call us on the phone, you don't want to use Skype, you can call us at 414-434-0093, extension 404. Once again, the phone number is 414-434-0093, extension 404. But both the phone lines and Skype lines are open. As always, so is our chat room on Skype, so you can call in and voice your opinion. And talk about anything we're talking about on the show today. Just keep it civil, keep it on topic. As I said before we went to the break, I wanted to talk about one of the Navy SEALs who actually killed Obama. One of the Navy SEALs who was actually responsible for Obama, he says he put 3 bullets in the head of Osama bin Laden. He is now out of work, separated from his wife, and believes he's been abandoned by his government, according to a news report. The hero frogman is very bitter, as he actually awaits for disability benefits from the Department of Veteran Affairs, according to an exclusive story for Esquire by the Center for Investigative Reporting. After quitting just 3 years short of retirement, he has no health care or pension, he said. And I quote, "I left SEALs on Friday," the unnamed SEAL told author Phil Bronstein last September. "My health care for me and my family stopped at midnight Friday night. I asked if there was some transition from my TRICARE to Blue Cross, Blue Shield. They said no," the SEAL told Bronstein, executive chairman of the Center for Investigative Reporting. "You're out of the service. Your coverage is over. Thanks for your 16 years. Go F yourself." The former SEAL gives a detailed account of the dramatic May 2011 takedown of the Al-Qaeda mastermind. Instead of counting for some reason, I said to myself, the George Bush 9/11 quote, "Freedom itself was attacked this morning by a faceless coward, and freedom will be defeated," he said, recalling the moments before he dropped into bin Laden's Abbottabad compound. "I could just hear his voice, and that was neat. I started saying it again and again to myself. Then I started to get pumped up. I'm like, this is so on." Once inside, he went up the staircase, and he saw bin Laden inside a darkened room. The terrorist pushed his young wife, Amal, in front of him, and the SEAL, wearing night vision goggles, raised his gun and pumped 3 bullets into bin Laden's forehead at close range. "He looked confused and way taller than I was expecting," the SEAL recalled. "And I remembered as I watched him breathe out the last part of air, I thought, is this the best thing I've ever done or the worst thing I've ever done? This is real, and that's him. Holy shit," the SEAL recalled. "Everybody wanted him dead, But nobody wanted to say, hey, you're going to kill this guy. It was just sort of understood. That's what we wanted to do. His forehead was gruesome. It was split open in the shape of a V. I could see his brain spilling out all over his face. The American public doesn't want to know what that looks like. But 6 months after leaving the military, because I wanted to see my children graduate and get married, but 6 months after leaving the military, because he wanted to see his children graduate and get married, he is now physically and psychologically wrecked. He left the military a few years, just 3 years short of retirement and eligibility, and now has no job and is not qualified for a pension. He is awaiting a VA disability ruling for neck, back, and eye injuries. Of Zero Dark 30, the Oscar-nominated film about the raid, the seal says director Catherine Bigelow Hollywooded it up some, but most of his criticisms were minor. So, here's a Navy SEAL who actually killed bin Laden, served his time for his country, and now, and because of the psychological trauma that he suffered, actually left the military so he could see his daughter get married and be with his family, and now is not eligible for a pension, is not eligible for health care. That is injustice. Like I said, if you disagree with Obama and his policies, vote him out. Get him out of there. Put pressure on your congressman. Since you can't vote Obama out because this is his last 4 years, put pressure on your congressman to change these laws. This is a guy who clearly should be getting VA benefits, who clearly should be supported, who should be able to get a job, and should be getting the mental help that he needs, as well as getting this pension that he so rightfully deserves. But these things are not going to happen unless we tell our Congress to make them happen. I'm not saying go in there and start threats. I'm saying you tell Congress, you write letters to your congressman saying, hey, make this right for these military people that have served our country. Congress will listen if we tell them to listen. The thing is we're never telling them. We're not. We're never telling them. By the way, I want to say hello to everyone who's been listening to this show live. I want to say hello to everyone who's in the chat room. Thank you. I appreciate that very much, being in there. I see all your comments. It's been great. But yes, we need to tell Congress. We need to support Congress, but we need to tell Congress, hey, we disagree with certain policies that they need to be changed. And we can change them as a whole. Now, we don't need to be this doom and gloom group, because we're not a doom and gloom country. We're not a doom and gloom, people. But we do need to speak up for ourselves, plain and simple. It really is just that, plain and simple. And that's what we need to do. That's what we need to do. And folks, honestly, I don't think you should follow anybody blindly. I really don't. And for those of you who follow other radio shows blindly, this is for you.
Time to do my radio show. But first I have to make sure my flock is completely aligned with me and always agrees with me that I am always right and I am never, ever wrong. And that anyone else that disagrees with me or the flock, they're the ones that are wrong. Not me and not my flock. Ever! Flock, do you agree with me that I am always right and I am never ever wrong? And that you're never ever wrong either, because I tell you what you should think and believe. And that's what you do too. Do you all agree with that? We agree.
We agree. We agree.
We agree. It is so easy when I have indoctrinated my flock with my own false ideals. They are just so mindless and can't think for themselves. After all, I have taught them to be that way, because if they weren't, I would get rid of them. Now it's time to do my show.
Sing Heil! Sing Heil! Sing Heil! Sing Heil!
Oh, you are such a good little flock. Never, ever disagreeing with me and always saying that I am always right, even though I know I am wrong. And I've never had any real evidence from any reliable authoritative sources to prove anything true, because it's all false and not happening. But anyways, so tell me, tell the world, flock, tell them I am always right and I am never ever wrong, and you all agree with me and never ever disagree with me. Ever. Tell them.
We agree.
We agree. We agree.
We agree. Bah.
We agree, Ma.
We agree. Bah. The mindless, non-thinking flock agrees.
Wait, I disagree. I have a mind of my own, and I think for myself, and I encourage others to do so as well, because what you speak of is drivel.
What? What? You can't disagree. You can't think for yourself. I'll get back at you. I'll present more useless drivel.
Sing Heil! Sing Heil! Sing Heil! Sing Heil! Sing Heil!
Whew. That was close. Too close. Continue to not think, flock. Go ahead, just continue to not think for yourselves. Continue to only listen to me and always agree with me no matter what I say. Ooh, don't think for yourself. Whatever you do, don't. Ooh, yeah. I am so proud of myself. I feel just like my idol, and we all know who that was, 'cause I am just like he was. Yes, Mr. Nazi himself. I will follow in his footsteps. I will lead my flock, my sheep, my good little Nazis, my good little listeners, the flock. I will lead them in my way because I am the new Führer. I am the Führer. Drop my pacifier. My pacifier. Ooh, my pacifier. My pacifier.
Folks, that was in tribute to shows like That Radio Show with Nick Larson, The Views Expressed, Wayne Pierce, and Just BK, Brian Keller. They try to tell you to listen to what they tell you and don't think for yourself. Well, folks, you need to listen. You need to think for yourself, research things for yourself, find out the truths on your own. Don't take anyone else. Don't take radio shows' words for it. Don't even take my own word for it. Research things for yourself. Be your own person and think. Think. Find out the truth on your own about stuff. And you'll be much happier that you did. I guarantee you that you will. You need to check out the truth for yourself. I want to thank everyone for listening tonight. It's been a great show. Don't forget to check out our other shows on Spreaker.com. Shows like The Light Is On. It's just a podcast. Talks about different things. The Tech Show, it's coming very soon. We'll be talking tech. And the Big DC Show, Sports Talk Radio, will be making a comeback. And as always, we'll see you next Monday night at 11 p.m. on The Rant, where we'll be just talking something else. And we'll see you then, folks. It's been great. It's been fabulous. Don't be a mindless sheep. Do your own thinking, and don't let no one else think for you. And be aware of a Facebook site called The Resistance or The Resistance USA. That's from Nick Larson and those mindless sheep over there on that radio show. Be aware, stay away from that. That's full of drivel, full of nonsense. Don't be one of the mindless sheep. Be aware. We'll see you next week.